Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. This is Magpie and this is the Pup to Pro series. So in this episode, we're looking at teaching a basic sit. And you're saying, well, why are you telling me how to do a sit? Everybody knows how to do a sit. Actually, a sit is one of the things that a lot of people get wrong. They either can't get their dog to do it without manipulating them into it by putting a hand on their backside or whatever. They can't get them to hold the position. Come here. Or they can't get them to do it without having to have some very specific cues to it. So actually it's one of the things that people struggle with. Or maybe they have to give their dog a lot of cues, sit, 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 before they get them to do it. So actually it's one of the hardest things. It seems the easiest thing to teach, but actually it proves to be one of the hardest things. I taught Magpie to sit on a hand cue in a week. So if I show you that, get that. Ready, Magpie? Good girl. But I have been utilising sit for a lot of things. So it wasn't just that we were doing it in our little couple of minute sessions, training sessions we do. Good girl. Break, break. I was using it for when I fed her, for when I gave her treats, for getting her out of a crate. I was just waiting for her to naturally sit before we did things. If I played a game with her, if she sat, then we rewarded that big time. This made the sit a very positive thing for her. But I'll show you how you're teaching it if you're just using your clicker. So we've primed our clicker in the last episode. So when I began, very traditional way, we lured the puppy in. So I'm going to have to get her out. And we just lifted the treat up over their head and click. And that's how you get your puppy to sit. Lower over the head. Very easy. Now, because I don't want her to be fixated on the lure, and that's what happens in a lot of times, people use the lure too long and then their puppy can't transition to just using a cue. So you can see I've already got the cue, the hand cue. Break. So what I then started to do is, instead of having, I had a treat in this hand, so using that hand to lure, reward with that hand. So she starts to go, well, the lure that's in the hand isn't the one I'm going to get, but I can still go with that. And then very quickly, no lure in this hand. Okay, break. And then I can reward with whichever hand I want. And of course I can use my clicker, break, to reward. Now once she's in the sit position, I just want to keep rewarding her. I want her to stay there. Now look at what we're building here for the foundations for a weight. Look, just because she's learned that if I stay in this position, I get loads of treats, very little work. And look, I'm making that a high value position that we're now starting on to have a start position. For any of the things we're going to do, you're going to need this for your obedience. You're going to need this for agility, your start lines. You know, there's so many ways you're going to be able to use this. And it's for a well-mannered puppy. And look, I'm just holding off with the click, not doing it instantly. Just a couple of seconds to build up that distance of time so that she understands that I hold this position, and if I hold it, I'll get reward. Now, when I want her to go out of this position, I don't want her to choose to go out of the position herself, so I'm going to tell her when I'm ready to break out of this position. Okay, break, and lure her out, because I want her to learn that you hold that position until we're done. And look, we've gone straight back into a sit. Why? Because it's a high value position for her to earn a reward in. It's that classical conditioning to teach your dog what you want and to teach them that it's valuable. Very easy. Dogs are smart. They pick things up. If they're going to get reward for them, they pick it up really easy. So that's how you're going to teach your basics of your sit. And then what you can do, I haven't got that to that stage with her, but ultimately you can get rid of your hand signal and just use a sit. You might notice I'm just using at times just using the hand signal, because I quite like to be able to just use a hand signal, but I also want to be able to use a verbal. So then I say sit. So I'm putting that word to the behaviour, sit. Sit, good sit. Break. Now at this stage, sit. Hasn't got the cue, she doesn't know what the cue means. But what I'm then starting to do is I say the word first, then I do the cue. And ultimately I want to be able to say sit and she'll do it on her own. Okay, get that. Okay. And she'll get there on her own. Okay, break. Magpie, break. Break. Good girl. Okay, sit. Now that was just luck. I don't think she knew the word. That was just luck. But that's the point. We build up and up. And so this is our basic foundations. And this is going to put us in good stead for a lot of things ahead. I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video. And if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.